So 801 D2 D2E allows for the statement of any co-conspirator to come in against any other member of the conspiracy, so long as that statement is being made in furtherance of the conspiracy and during the existence of the conspiracy. And so we'll have a few cases that we'll look at to flesh this out, because conspiracies are very complicated things to try to unpack. There is a prerequisite for admission of a co-conspirator statement under the rule. The judge is going to have to find that there was a conspiracy. So this is one of those kind of facts that's about conditional relevance. And so before we can admit the co-conspirator statements, we have to find that, in fact, there was this conspiracy that these statements are being made in furtherance of. So in Commonwealth versus Cruz, a Massachusetts Supreme Court opinion, we're looking at the question of whether, in fact, there was a conspiracy that included Gonzalez. So it's one thing that there's a conspiracy, a group of folks have agreed to commit some particular crime or some ongoing acts of criminal activity. But it's another thing to show that particular people are a part of it, and you have to show both. So in this case, there was a raid that was done on a house, and there were two men, Gonzalez and Viller, who were in the kitchen bagging up cocaine. And then a third man, Cruz, for whom the case is named, who was in another room. Now, there's another guy, his name is, hang on one second, his name is Solano. And Solano is arrested later. And the question is whether Solano claims that any statements by Gonzalez are not admissible against him, and Viller makes the same claim. So Viller and Solano are making the claim that, look, whatever Gonzalez said, that's not about us because you haven't shown that Gonzalez is part of this conspiracy. So they take the hard question first and then the easy question second. But let me do it in reverse order, because there's a really easy example in this set of facts. When the police raid the house, both Viller and Gonzalez are bagging cocaine together. Viller claims you haven't shown that Gonzalez was part of the same conspiracy I was a part of. This one's easy. This one is really, really easy. When they execute the search warrant, they're both there bagging the cocaine together. It doesn't get much cleaner than that one. And then when Solano claims that Gonzalez was not part of the conspiracy, this one's a little harder because you don't have Solano there at the time of the raid. But what you do have is police have been monitoring a particular apartment building from which Gonzalez has sold drugs to an undercover agent. Shortly before, in fact, 1 hour before one of the sales to an undercover agent, Solano showed up with a bulge in his pocket and got in a car with Gonzalez and without the bulge. And then an hour later, Gonzalez makes the undercover sale. So that story links Gonzalez and Solano together as part of this drug conspiracy. That one's a little more tenuous. That one you have to believe, certain inferences. What was in the pocket? Was that cocaine? Was he delivering something else shortly before Gonzalez sold cocaine to the undercover officer? But clearly there's something that links Solano and Gonzalez. And we know that Gonzalez was involved in the sale of cocaine to an undercover officer. There's definitely a link there that's suspicious enough that the court can infer the connection of Gonzalez to the cocaine conspiracy. But the Viller's claim is almost laughable. He claims you can't show Gonzalez and I were in on this together. Well, they're bagging the stuff together when they execute the raid. And so that one is a clear, easy one. So now that we have it established that all of these guys were part of the conspiracy, any statement that any one of them makes that is in furtherance of the conspiracy and during the conspiracy will come in against them. And in subsequent tapes, we will look at cases that analyze these questions of what it means to be in furtherance of the conspiracy and what it means to be during the conspiracy. And by that second question, we really are asking, when does the conspiracy end? And we'll see you in further tapes.